Okay, today we have the defending Trash Mouth Fantasy Football Champion on the podcast for Week 7. It's the Widowmakers.
Glad to be back, Dave. Glad to be back.
Okay, Widowmakers, let's get right into it. A decisive victory versus Whoop Ass Inc., who you beat in Super Bowl I. Explain your thoughts on the victory last week.
It was a balanced attack again, Dave. I'm going with the backup quarterback in Buffalo who's coming through for me. And, of course, Philip Rivers, even behind, gets me 22. Moncrief gets in the end zone. I get a defensive special team touchdown. I'm just getting contributions from every player.
That is true. All right. We know the phrase that pays to get on the podcast. You got to score the most points for the week. It gives you bragging rights, leverage, trash talk. You got to put the points on the board if you want to get on this show. If you don't, you sit home and you listen. All right, Widowmakers, explain to me who has been your most valuable player other than Philip Rivers on your team.
England has been dynamite, Dave. And picking up Moncrief, he's been steady. Get me points. England had a great game last week. You know, it's just the running backs. Hart has been doing nothing. Bell was a waste. England's been coming through. Moncrief has been coming through. What can you say? DJ Manuel gets me 12. You know, it's put me up there. I'm defending my title like I should.
All right, Widowmakers. This part of the show, we have a Facebook question, and actually Will is on Facebook if you ever need to contact him. This is from Joanne in San Diego, who's a big Philip Rivers fan. She says, if Philip Rivers invited you to his barbecue in the summer, what type of beer would you bring?
What idea would I bring to Philip Rivers? I said, Philip, don't serve the hot dogs on the bun at the barbecue. Make people go out for a fade.
All right. So, this part of the show, we'd like to just ask Widowmakers, so far this season, Widowmakers, who do you feel is your strongest competition or the lack of competition in the league so far after 7 games? And don't hold anything back. Let's get a little feisty. Let's get a little brash. Let's get a little bold. Okay, Will?
Strongest competition right now, and the biggest thorn in my side is Sal. Sal, tomorrow's going to outscore his little pickup, Mr. Lynch. So pay attention this weekend.
Okay. All right. So who's the least competition for the Widowmakers so far after 7 games? I mean, who is not bringing it at all?
Well, basically, Flip, I love you, Flip, but you know, all you're doing right now is carrying. You're carrying my bag, son. You're carrying my bag.
All right. So we have Widowmakers once again on the podcast, 70 points. He scored 70 points on week 1, so it looks like every time he gets on the podcast, he's scoring 70. What is it, I-70 run through Connecticut? What's the highway interstate up there?
We can change 95 to 70. It works for me. I travel every day. I'll get the spray can out.
All right, be careful. We don't want you to get arrested. All right, this part of the show, it's called Parting Shots. You want to call out a GM? You want to tell somebody that they're garbage, like the trash can of Trash Mouth Fantasy Football on a Wednesday, garbage day? Tell it like it is, Will. Don't hold anything back. We're getting a little bit more trash here on the Trash Mouth Fantasy Football podcast.
After week 10, a GM will be changing his name from Grim Reapers to Grim Weepers.
Okay, so he's calling out the rookie GM. He wants a part of him on the schedule. All right, Widowmakers, you got a big matchup this week against the 5-2 6 shooters. This is for the East Division lead. The six-shooters are back. He's been dominating this division for a long time. Chet came in, but he moved to the West. You came in last year. You took control of the division, won it, and won the title. What do you got to do to beat the six-shooters? He's very well balanced. What do you got to do?
He's going to balance attack. Being this week would be the best thing. Knocking him out of the playoffs would be even better.
All right, you heard it there. This is the Trash Mouth Podcast Show, Week 7 edition. Will's Widowmakers gets on the show easily. And now we say goodbye to the Widowmakers as we conclude the show. And we thank you for joining us. And we wish you luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Dave. I'll be back.